What's up guys? Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today we're going to be making pumpkin cream cheese muffins. So let's get started. Okay, so the first things that you're going to need are a stand mixer, some cream cheese, you need 8 ounces to be exact, and powdered sugar. And you're going to need 1 cup of that. I'm going to put it in the stand mixer and mix it together until it's whipped. So let's go ahead and do that. Here's my 1 cup of powdered sugar. And here's my 8 ounces of cream cheese. And there's 8 ounces in the box, so I'm just going to use the whole stick. So here's the cream cheese, and we're also going to add that into the stand mixer. Now that we've added the cream cheese to the mixer, we're going to put on our mixing tool. Mine's stuck. Alright, 1 second. There we go. And then just mix it all together until it's whipped or so. You'll know it's whipped when it starts to look like this, sort of like icing, and it's all mixed together. So now that it's whipped, we're going to stop mixing it. And we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so now that we've stopped mixing, I've gotten the bowl off of the stand mixer, and I've gotten a piece of aluminum foil right here, and I've greased it a little bit by just spraying it with some canola oil. And now I'm going to take the cream cheese mixture and just scoop it all into one spot. I'm going to take it out and put it on the foil. I'm just going to use my hands too a little bit to scoop it all together. Don't worry, I washed them before I started. And then we're going to take all of the cream cheese mixture and just kind of put it together a little roll. And then we're going to put it in the middle of the aluminum foil. And try and get as much as you can out of the bowl and off your hands if you use them. Okay, so now that we've got the cream cheese into a little roll shape, we're going to wrap it in the aluminum foil. And once you've done that, we're going to put it in the freezer until it's slightly hardened for about 1 to 2 hours. And while we're waiting for the cream cheese, we'll move on to the next steps. So now we're going to get a medium bowl and we're going to combine all the dry ingredients. So first you'll need 3 cups of flour. So we'll go ahead and add that. And there's 3. We're going to set that to the side. And we're going to add the salt. We need 1 teaspoon of. And then the baking soda, we also need 1 teaspoon of. And then we're going to add all of our spices. So the first thing is ground cinnamon. We also need a tablespoon of that. Or sorry, a teaspoon, not a tablespoon. We also need a teaspoon of that. And then after the cinnamon, we need some ground cloves. And that'll also be a teaspoon. Our next seasoning is nutmeg. And that's also 1 teaspoon. And then after the nutmeg, we add pumpkin pie spice. And this is the measurement that differs. We need 1 tablespoon of that. And those are the spices. So now I'm going to get a small whisk, or you could use a spoon. I'm going to use this, and we're just going to whisk all the dry ingredients together. Okay, so I've got all the dry ingredients mixed together, and I'm going to set that to the side, and then we're going to move to the other ingredients. Now that we've got our dry ingredients in a bowl, we're going to get a separate bowl, a little bigger, and we're going to add the other ingredients. So first we need 2 cups of sugar. So there's 1 cup. And here's 2 cups. The next thing we're going to add is 4 eggs. So I'm going to put the sugar to the side. And then with the eggs, I need 4 of them. And I'm just going to, can't see me, there we go. Crack them into the bowl. There's 2. 3. And 4. So now that we've got our eggs, after you work with eggs, you always want to wash your hands. So I'm going to go do that, and then we'll come back with the other ingredients, which are vegetable oil and pumpkin puree. Okay, so our next ingredient is going to be pumpkin puree, and you need 2 cups of that. So I'm going to add those, because in this can there's about 2 cups. So I'm just going to add the whole can to the bowl. Next thing that we're going to add is vegetable oil, which is, canola oil is the same thing, that's what I'm using. And you need 1 1/4 cup of that. So I'm going to add that to the same bowl with the other ingredients. And then after that, we're going to whisk those ingredients together as well. You want to make sure and get all of them mixed in. You don't want any clumps of sugar or unbroken egg yolks or clumps of pumpkin or anything. Okay, so now that we've got that all whisked together, we're going to combine the 2 into another bowl. So here I've got those ingredients. And I'm going to use the whisk to scoop the pumpkin in. The rest of it's stuck to the bottom of the bowl. And then after the pumpkin, I'm going to add the dry ingredients that we had set to the side before. And then we're going to mix those together. Now that those ingredients have been mixed together, and you don't want to overmix them, so just mix it until it's combined. It might still be a little lumpy. You're going to get 2 muffin pans and some paper liners. And we're just going to put liners in each of the spots for the muffin pans. So line muffin pans in 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! Lined muffin pans. So now that we've got our lined muffin pans, we're going to take, I've got this big spoon here, and I'm going to scoop batter into each of the liners, and you want to fill it about 1/3 of the way full. So I'm going to do that with each of them, and then we'll come back. The next thing that we're going to do once we've got all the batter lined into the pans is get the cream cheese out of the freezer and split it into roughly 24 equal pieces. So I've got the cream cheese on a plate here, and I'm just going to take each of the 24 pieces and put the slices onto the batter and slightly press it down. You don't want it to go all the way to the bottom, just slightly press it in. And then I'm going to add that to each of the other muffin liners. Now that I've got all the cream cheese in the muffins, here's a picture of what it's going to look like right about now. And now we're going to get the rest of the muffin batter from the bowl, and we're going to divide it among the liners to cover the cream cheese. So I'm just going to scoop a little bit in and smooth it over the cream cheese. Just like that. And I'm going to do this with all of the muffins. I'll tilt the camera down so that you can see the muffin tins. And I'm going to cover all of the rest of the muffins with the batter, and then we'll come back. Okay, so now I've put all the extra batter over the top of the muffins, and I'll show you what that looks like. Here they are. They're all lined up in the tins. So now what we're going to do, I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, but you'll need to preheat the oven to 350. And since there's 2 different pans, if you have 2 ovens, then you'll probably want to preheat both of them to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, like I said. And then once they're preheated, we'll put them in. So both the ovens have preheated to 350, so I'm going to go ahead and put the muffins in each of the ovens. And once I've done that, I'm going to set the timer for 18 minutes, and then we'll check them then to see if they're done, and may or may not add a couple more minutes or so. So we'll come back then. As you can hear, the buzzer's going off, and I tested them with a toothpick and they weren't quite done, so I put them in for 2 more minutes, and that's what's finishing now. So I'm going to go ahead and take them out of the oven and bring them over here. Okay, so I've just taken the muffins out of the oven, and I'm going to let them cool and then enjoy them. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and that if you made the muffins, they turned out good. Make sure you go down below and like this video and subscribe to my channel to get all my awesome baking videos. The recipe is adapted from a Mel's Kitchen Cafe recipe, and I'll link that in the description below so that you can access it, and my social media account will also be linked down below. So thanks for joining me.